I'll tell you how tough it is for the average man. Okay, to bring the future into the now is for 10 years. I studied this, and it'll make sense when it has to make sense. Here's how a lot of am I yapping or should we get a little esoteric in this bitch? Okay, one of the oldest esoteric practices. Just tired of looking at that. Oh fuck, sorry. Yeah, here we go. When you are fantasizing about your future, the reason you're not active and mobilized and doing stuff is because it's in the future, in your 2D images, the stream of images in your brain that you can't see, but I swear you felt it. You swear you felt it, right? You're in this 3D world. Your mind is shooting these 2D images of the future. It's not going to mobilize you because it's in the future. All you have to do is the meditative attention awareness activity that's for thousands of years been studied and trained, and it's very difficult to do when you are used to iPhones and stuff. It's very easy when you're just out the birth as tabula rasa, right? Bring the focus into the now. If you can see your future self, if you can visualize, if you have techniques to visualize of your future life in the now, where you heard someone out there say something that's from the future, but it's in the now, immediately you want to move, walk, work out, do something, and you go, how long is this going to last? As long as you put the attention on it. This is what in the ancient temple sciences, in the ancient initiation practices, the number one thing before they went through any kind of Gnostic experience, any kind of like, oh my God, I spoke to God experience, they were taught to zero point of attention, to focus on it. And this focus, here, I'll tell you how tough it is for the average man. Okay, to bring the future into the now is for 10 years I studied this, and it'll make sense when it has to make sense. Here's how a lot of am I yapping or should we get a little esoteric in this bitch? Okay, one of the oldest esoteric practices for meditation for these ADHD brains. Back then, they were more clairvoyant with less intelligence, which wasn't a bad thing, right? It's just we traded it off. And by what I mean by that is that death was closer to sleep. Yeah, it wasn't like this whole I woke up, I don't remember my dreams thing, right? Yeah, they could literally see stuffs and sprites and everything in the forest, right? And we still see those sprites and spirits. For example, we don't have the clairvoyant vision to see sprites and spirits, energies in around us that are not harmful. They're just around us, but it always finds a way to find us. Like, look at this. Who are these little guys? Yeah, even when we lost our clairvoyant abilities, these sprites and little beings find a way to communicate with us through the digital medium. That's Squirtle. Everyone knows who Squirtle is. We know his temperament. We know his attitude. We know what he likes to eat. We know, how does everyone here who's not even a fan know who the fuck Squirtle is, what he's about? Pikachu. These characters are not created by man. Man is just the portal that opens, that lets these characters pour through. That, yes, fantasy is bigger than reality. It's more real than reality. But I'm not going to say that to like schizophrenics and people who are that level of clairvoyant. I'm not going to say that to them. I'm not going to like reinforce any bad behavior. But I'm saying these little spirits find a way to come out. And that's why your nephew and you have this affinity for Pikachu. You get it? That it's not just a picture on the screen, because nobody created Pikachu. No one thought of Pikachu. How the fuck did one man sit down and draw Pikachu and it's like, hey, he's going to be yellow, he's going to be... You understand that nothing comes from us. We don't create anything. We allow the creation into this world. That's what we're here to do. And so these little beings have a way of communicating with us. It's very strange, but they're around our kids all day. It's not an evil thing. It's not, it's whatever. And in the ancient times, they knew this. They had to hide all this in the Vatican archives, right? I am the first ever broadcaster to say this. I don't want to scare you guys, but it's everywhere. It's in the movie Avatar with the tree of Awa, right? This stuff is, a lot of fantasy stuff is real. It takes on different shapes and forms.
when we're bringing it into this medium, but they definitely go a certain path. They become a certain thing. Some of them are evil, 100%, right? Um, just think of where was I going with this? Where was oh right. Okay, one of the I feel like I should be selling this though, but because this was in a different project I was working on that I stopped working on. But okay, one of the oldest spiritual practices ever is focus on this lighter, but I'm going to make it tough. I'm going to take you into your super sensible senses. Focus on it without music, without your phone, without anything, in an empty room, right? Turn the light on and just focus on this lighter for 5 minutes. Go. You can't do it. No human today can do this. And the guys who do make it through the practice, I'll call them more intelligent, but there's something else that's making these guys do this. This spiritual practice is so powerful because after 5 minutes, you actually start to notice things you've never noticed on this simple ass lighter. And that's a perfect way of your first 5 minutes of the day is honing in on focus. That when you get good at this, it doesn't increase. Yeah, someone said I already lost. Yeah, I get it, bro. I get it. That they can't. That's why they want your attention with the apple, right? With the black mirrors. They don't want you to have this power. But once you can do 5 minutes of this, you don't increase it to 10 minutes. You don't increase it to 20 minutes. You don't do any of that. You do it with other objects, and eventually you do it with your PowerPoint. And that's when you become a fucking genius. When you can actually look at your PowerPoint project and say, okay, I'm going to focus for 5 minutes. I'm going to put all the content on the screen, all the topics. And that's the first time you go, huh, that's how we're meant to use our brains? We're not supposed to think. We're supposed to wait until it comes out of us like taking a shit. And just let it come out. Don't force it, right? I don't want to do it. Like, my bad for the graphic imagery, right? I don't believe in toilet humor. I think it's low brow. But I'm telling you guys this. If you don't master the elements of thinking, what is thinking? It's telling you what it is. What is feeling? It's telling you if you agree with something or not, which is thinking is air. Feeling is water. Intuition. This is the one that makes you a billionaire. The intuitive faculty we all have. This is fire. This is the tough one. This one comes after attention, right? And then earth is sensation when we feel it, which is usually like goosebumps or stuff, right? Something earthy, something that grounds you, right? Once you understand, oh my God, there's 4 different colors, there's 4 different elements in my thinking. It's not all thinking, but it's all being sensed. It's all before the super sensible, but it all feels, oh wow, does it feel or does it think? When you can divide these, like my students do, you can legit work on projects where you go, you know what? That was the best fucking stream I've ever done. That was Zherka. I put 1 hour of focus in that stream, and in 5 minutes, I got the answer I was looking for. Is this what the Taoists and the Eastern guys were meant when they said we're geniuses if we can just stop moving? Yes. Look at Tesla. Look at Einstein. Look at genius. Study genius, man. This is why you can't throw a football. You can't throw a football and observe yourself throwing a football. You cannot physically do it. You have to throw it slowly. But if you do anything fast, if you start driving, you go in automatic behavior. You cannot observe yourself. So if observing is the first step, how did you observe $1 million idea? How did you ever observe? It's always a level of awareness to becoming a millionaire. It's always this new idea that pulled the other ideas that were junk and said, hey, you guys actually fit here. How do all these ideas get pulled? By fire. It's always by that new idea, which means increase awareness. How do you increase awareness? You can never increase awareness if your attention is being taken by appliances and devices. So number 1, be still. That's fucking hard. You have nothing to do and you still don't want to do this. These activities, once you master the basics, you start thinking to yourself, one of my smartest guys, I didn't even have to bring it here. He brought it to me. One of my smartest guys like, Zherka, I did it on my date. I'm like, no, you didn't. You would never freeze on your date like that. You're a fucking liar. He's like, no, I went to the bathroom. I was like, what? He said, I went to the bathroom and I did it. So what'd you do? You take a shit? You take a piss? He's like, ha 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 ha. No, I did it. I increased my awareness. And I'm like, are you telling me that we're talking about PowerPoints and projects and lighters and you applied it on a date? I knew what he was saying. He's saying that when he sat back down, his thoughts were better. He spoke more clear. He wasn't talking so fast that she thought he was nervous. He was more sly. He was more aware of the moment. Everything. He was blinking normally, not autonomous. Like, am I supposed to blink? Am I supposed to speak? Am I supposed to laugh at her joke? And I'm like, okay, you've raised your awareness. That's brilliant. Really, I didn't really think he would bring it to the dating place. And how men used to cheat this? Drinking, right? They would shift their level of awareness by drinking. You would find a nice happy medium, and then it always gets ruined, right? Drinking, it's not like your mind. You're not controlling that. You're going to have more shots, and it's going to get worse. But there's this always happy medium of I shifted my awareness from anxiety to a different state, and that's all you need. And people act like this is a Super Saiyan transformation. This is so subtle, right? This is so subtle. That's why if you have a good start on a date, it's usually a good finish, right? It's not like things that are alike actually attract each other. It's not this opposites attract shit that you're taught. No, things that are alike actually can attract each other. You just have to know. Sorry, I read something really fucked. I thought this guy said, you mean he realized women are dumbasses? I would say it's centering yourself, right? And now, how many times you center yourself where you do it? Be honest. And how many times are you forced to do it? Because when you're forced to do it, it's very different, right? As soon as you center yourself with your own eye, everything starts going correct for you. This is what ritual is. This is how people do rituals. This is why people have pre-football game rituals, and they don't know why it works, but I just feel better when I do it, man. This is what it is. It's a elevation of consciousness. And people are wondering, like, wait, so does that mean every day? Every goddamn day of your life, you fucking faggot? Every single day of your life, you should ask yourself, am I conscious right now? Am I? Oh no, I've been watching Zherka for 5 hours. I was unconscious. When you observe yourself, do not change. Just observe yourself for a month. It's so much fun. When you only observe yourself, you start getting disgusted. If you start to change things and nitpick, immediately you're going to go back to being a fucking loser. But if you observe for a month, you'll be disgusted for 10 years. Like, it's huge. If you observe for a minute and then try to change something, immediately the elastic band snaps back and you fuck up, right? And that's really the power of a sober mind, right? Now, I'm not preaching always be sober, right? I don't do that fucking Christian faggot shit because I know a lot of you guys, when you tell a human being always be sober, then they, for some reason, the elastic band snaps on them. It's like bad advice, you know? Just be aware, right? I'm not putting any tension on it, right? Yeah, have a couple of drinks at a party, but like, you know, don't lose your awareness to elevate your awareness to, hey, I'm tipsy and funny now, and then you lose it. Because if you find out how to be funny when you're tipsy, you can only be tipsy for this much, and then you have to drink more. So it's a losing battle. If you find out how to be funny while you raise your own awareness, you're funny for life. You take 5 minutes in the bathroom of you just, nothing's happening. Okay, well, Zherka said there's a timer to this shit, so let's try 5 minutes. I wonder if she thinks I'm doing something else. Maybe she thinks I'm doing blow, and I'm no, it's just a bathroom. There's like a lineup, and what if she thinks I'm shitting? What if she thinks I'm pissing my pants? What if she... Relax, bro. Have that 5 minutes of silence. Go sit back down. Anything you sit back down to, you'll dominate. The thinking mind is not gonna save you. Okay? You guys are Westerners, so... those images, I know for some of you guys it's easier than others, but if you guys can paint those images in the now, you will be a lot more active, right? And never get active with, I'm going to do so much today. Nope. Do one thing and it'll always get done. Then do the other. Then do the other. Then do the other. And a good practice for this is when you write it down on paper, write down that first thing you're supposed to do, very dark. The second thing, lighter. The third thing, lighter so you can barely see the writing. The fourth thing with the pencil, so light you can't even see it at all, right? And then that solidifies in the brain way more when you add energy to the writing, that this one has to be done. This one can be done, right? But this is the energy you want to do it in, right? This is so much smoother. This is so much better. This is Mozart, right? I'm stealing now. This is how you want to get your day done. If you write everything hard and put energy into all of it, bam, 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 you're building up the shadow of it. What if I can't do it, right? Anytime you're building up a shadow of something, it's going to snap back and fuck you up, right? And, for a lot of years, I teach you guys how to go fast, but if you're already winning in life, if you got a paycheck and stuff, then I can't teach you to go faster, right? I can only teach you how to, hey, let's manage the sales, bro. That's better. Okay. How to lucid dream. This guy's a dumbass. They always come at me with yo, how do I find out my life meaning, bro? How do I find my life fire? And it's like, there is no influencer who should answer that. They should kill themselves before they answer that. If you ever ask another human being, what's my life purpose, bro? Zherka, can you tell me what's the meaning of my life? You should, and no one on earth should be allowed to answer that question, because anyone who asks that question is not moving and not active, meaning he shouldn't be asking it. That question's only for the active, because then your brain is flowing and you can actually get to the bottom of the meaning of your life. You can actually get to the bottom of what you're trying to do in life because your brain is active. It went to work, it went to the gym, it made money, it did this. But that question being asked from a lazy, fat, faggot loser sitting in his fucking... You could be a skinny fucking loser. By fat, I mean you're not moving, right? You get it? That question's only for the active, right? Because that's the only question that ever matters. That's the only question anyone ever talks about at the high circles or the high end. At all circles of life, except the loser circle. Fuck that loser circle.
What is your prediction for the youth? Max Holloway versus Celia Topuria.
Yeah, Holloway's gonna die. That's my prediction. Thoughts on long distance relationships? Yeah. This is your woman. You don't know where she is. You don't know what she's doing. But we do. That's what's happening to your bitch. I'll be here all day.
I've heard many